before the woman of the hour goes on, I just want to give a short little, no speech or anything like that, but I want to say thank you. Thank you so much. We got all our friends here, we got our family here, we got co-workers, we got everybody we know here. And it's the second annual Metabash, and we can only do it because last year was such an awesome success. So that's all because of you guys. And as you know, last year we did amazing. The first time at an event to raise over $30,000 for Metaviber. I just think that's freaking amazing. And when we first did it, we had no idea we were going to do it again, but thanks you guys for your support. I got work to do every year, so thank you. So second annual, and I'll get into more reasons why we wanted to get over this hump, but I'll say this now. We don't know the exact numbers, we'll have that later. But this year we were able to raise over $50,000. Freaking amazing, okay? And she's gonna get into why that's so important. The first thing, before I introduce her, I just wanna say, this girl by my side is the strongest person I ever known. I was gonna say to Deepa, I met you, God knows how many years ago. As soon as I saw you, everybody knows I was la la la. This and that. For a little girl, I realized very early, how you packed a pretty big punch, but shit, I'll say right now, I had no idea you were this strong. I just found out how freaking strong you were. People, that go through this, I can't imagine going through it. And if you're going through it, and to sit here and not only be there for me, for her family, for my daughter, and to do all this, but just to think about everybody else that's going through what you're going through, to try to do something for that organization, to do something for people going through the same thing, it just says a lot about her character, right? And that's what amazes me every day about her, is that everything that she's going through, she still has time to do this. This girl stays up, you see all this stuff and it looks great. She's up till 1 a.m., 2 a.m., shooting out emails, planning things. These guys, the organization that helps us, her friends, they come over late at nights on weeknights. I mean, it's a lot of work to put this together, and I just want to say thank you guys all for doing it, for helping my wife. And one thing I just want to make clear is, I say strong, right? And I just want to make a point here, because I think a lot of people don't know this, and I didn't know it either, is strong doesn't mean you're fighting a battle or you're fighting cancer, because nobody is able to fight a battle. This isn't a football game. You have no choice, right? Sorry, that's the only analogy I know. It's not a battle, right? The 5-year-old kid that died of cancer, he didn't lose a battle. He was strong. The 25-year-old girl, 70-year-old man, they didn't lose a battle. They're strong, right? So that's not what strong means. When I say strong, when I say my wife is strong, it's living through it strong. It's got nothing to do with battling cancer. That's not up to you, right? That's just not up to you. But what it is how you live through it. And that's what's amazing about her, is how she's living through it right now. And I just want to give her a hand, because that's what I say, Shrav's strong, I say my wife is
strong. Thank you, and it's so much easier to be strong when I have a great support system, my husband. Sorry. So, welcome to Metabash. You all know it. Welcome to Metabash. Thank you all for showing up. And for you second-timers, thank you for your continued support and your belief in this cause. Quite frankly, there are so many organizations that you can all donate to, and each one of you today chose Metaviber. Let me tell you why you made the right choice. Before I do that, I'd like to explain exactly what stage 4 breast cancer is for those of you who are new in the room. Stage 4 breast cancer, also known as metastatic breast cancer, is when breast cancer spreads to other places in your body outside of the local breast area. Breast cancer is typically a cancer that spreads to the bones, the lungs, the liver, and the brain. It is still considered breast cancer because the cells which have spread are the same as the primary tumor cells located in the breast. Unfortunately, when metastatic disease is present, the cancer is incurable. Now, this is the part that's confusing to most. Let me explain. Stage 1, 2, and 3 breast cancer can potentially be cured through surgery and treatment. No one dies of stage 1, 2, or 3 breast cancer. However, 30% of those with 1, 2, and 3 breast cancer have a reoccurrence in the form of stage 4. 5% of people are diagnosed at initial diagnosis, which with stage 4, such as myself. Unfortunately, metastatic breast cancer is incurable because it's already spread outside and into these organs, and we can't remove all the organs, so it's incurable. The goal is to keep the cancer cells in those areas inactive for the longest time possible with medication. And that, unfortunately, is the hard part. The average survival rate today is only 18 to 24 months because cancer eventually outsmarts the medications. So why aren't there more medications? That's what I and others with stage 4 ask ourselves every single day. Why do we eventually run out of treatment options? The answer to that is actually quite simple. There just isn't enough research. Research can help create new medicines that can help people live a few more years, make it to that graduation, be there for the Sweet 16, or help plan their child's wedding. And research may one day be able to tell us why tumors spread outside of the breast area and what we can do to prevent it. But research, my friends, needs money, and that's why you are here today. Let me take you back to December of 2015, when I was initially diagnosed. I was encouraged to join some groups to help me make choices and cope with the situation. Throughout that process, I realized that this disease was really affecting the lives of so many young women in such a horrible way. I knew from that moment that I wanted to help. I looked up different organizations and considered donating, walking, rounding up my friends and raising money. But then I took a look at the financial statements of many of these organizations and realized that while much money was being spent in good places, much was also going to salaries and admin costs and not as much to research. Having stage 4, I knew that research was imperative. As you heard on the video, for each $1 million spent on breast cancer, only 20,000, that's 2%, goes towards metastatic research. Now, how are we supposed to improve the survival rate if we keep pouring money into the symptoms instead of the root of the problem? And that's why I fell in love with Metabash. Metabash is the only national organization that awards grants strictly for stage 4 research. They are run by volunteers, mostly who have stage 4 breast cancer, and have a transparent process to obtain the grants, which is public knowledge on their website. I encourage you all to look at their website. They explain how much they raised each year and who it went to. This is why I fundraised for Metabash. In June of 2016, when I was done with chemo, I was put on a premenopausal drug. A year later, the activity in the lesion in my bone increased and I was advised to change medication. There were no, I repeat, no premenopausal medications for me to switch to. So I was forced into menopause at the young age of 40. Luckily, I have a child, but what if I were a few years younger? That chance would have been taken from me. And I often think about all the women who never got that chance. This is why I fundraised for Metabash. When planning this year's Metabash, one of the committee members, Anjali Singla, noticed that a Metabash grantee, Dr. Vivek Mithil, was located here in New York at Weill Cornell. She encouraged me to call him and invite him tonight. I took her advice, and when I finally spoke to him, I found out that with the grant awarded from Metabash, he is studying a medication that's currently in early trials for lymphoma that he believes will also target metastatic breast cancer. His study is currently under investigation and promising, and I'm excited to have him here tonight. Thank you for joining us, Dr. Mithil. And his assistant, Shira. This phone call made fundraising for Metabash even more relevant and important to me. His medication may help me and other people with the disease, and maybe even other people in this room, live a longer life. This is why I fundraise for Metabash. 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer. 30% will have a stage 4 reoccurrence. If you or someone you love is one of them, you'll want the research to already have been done. You'll want to have an abundance of medications to choose from as each one stops working. And without research, you or your mother or your sister or even your daughter may run out of options. Before I conclude, I'd like to leave everyone with a few things that I learned in my journey. Number one, when something ugly happens to you, you don't have to let it make you ugly. Now, all of you who know me well know that I mean that figuratively and literally too. I read this quote in a book called Tiny Wonderful Things. There's a woman here today named Sunitha Babur. I know her daughter Swati from working at JP Morgan Chase. In 2016, I had found that Swati's 25-year-old brother passed away unexpectedly. Swati called me a few months ago and, to no surprise to me, told me her mom was diagnosed with breast cancer. I truly believe breast cancer is caused by different types of stress. Physical stress, like accidents and traumas, chemical stress, like viruses, hormones, pesticides, and emotional stress, like tragedies, divorces, deaths. She asked me some questions and I tried to help as much as I could. I offered to meet her mom thinking maybe I can shine some positivity on her, although I didn't expect that I can do much for someone who lost a child. She finally took me up on it. I was expecting to meet a heartbroken, down on herself, depressed woman, but to my surprise, Sunitha Babur was far from that. She was positive and matter of fact. Her attitude was that she cannot control what has happened to her. It's all up to God, she said, but she can control how she handles it. I went there to lift her spirits, but she has no idea how much she inspired me instead. Something ugly will happen to each and every one of us at some point. How you handle it is what dictates the happiness for the rest of your life. Number two, those who think they don't have time to eat healthy and to take care of their bodies will sooner or later will have to make time for illness. Edward Stanley. Try to control what you put into your body, from the air, to the food, to the alcohol. The way I explain cancer to my 5-year-old is that some of Mama's good cells got hurt, and now I have to eat healthy and treat my body nicely so those cells heal. The pesticides in foods kills insects, so what makes you think they're not harming your cells? The pollution in air, for example, the post-9/11 air I breathed in every day for 10 months, damages cells. That's why many 9/11 first responders have cancer today or have already died of it. Studies show that enzymes in our body convert alcohol into acetaldehyde, which is a carcinogen. So what about those who do everything wrong and still live till 90? There are some outliers, I agree, but how do you know you're one of them? I try my best to eat organic and healthy. It's hard, I cheat, but I try. I have to because there are just too many coincidences. If you get a gift back today, you'll get an opportunity to try some products that I use, like Underarms natural deodorant. When we apply products on our skin that contain toxic or harmful ingredients, they go into our bodies. It's common sense, yet we do it all the time. If you are concerned, I highly encourage you to see a nutritionist. Mine is Marianne Jones of Thrive Naturally, and you'll see her number in the gift bags that you get. Her mother died of ovarian cancer, so she's dedicated to helping people live more naturally. The cost is priceless. Lastly, a person's most useful asset is not a head full of knowledge, but it's a heart full of love, an ear ready to listen, and a hand willing to help. I know this is true because when people die, people at your funeral don't talk about how much they worked or how many facts they knew. They'll talk about how you made them feel, what you did for them, and how your absence will be a void in their life because you added so much value. So I leave you with this: love, listen, and help. Thank you again for your help today in making the second annual Metabash a success. I'd like to ask a few people who had a tremendous part in this event to come up. First and foremost, the amazing committee, Ashish, Anjali, Soom, and the three who did so much heavy lifting, Komal, Kavita, and Ashma, and Ashish. I'd also like to recognize, literally a lot of heavy lifting, literally. I'd also like to recognize the raffle committee, Kinnari, Rohini, Rajvi, and Ashma, led by Komal, and all the companies who not only sponsored this event, but who donated so many wonderful raffle items, as you can see. And special thanks to Rajiv Airy, Kalpana Shivnani, Raja Chavla, and Jesleen Bhutani, who also helped give so many of the items. Countless people in this room reached out to me and asked me if they can help, and so many of you did. I have never, ever seen so much love and support. Thank you to each and every one of you who not only donated tonight, but purchased raffle tickets. Now you know why I believe in Metabash. Two last things. The reason why I was so passionate about getting to 50,000, which we've done, is because there will be a grant in my name, Metabash's name, awarded by Metabash to one scientist for 50,000, and it's called the Young Investigators Award. And it is 100% minus the cost of the venue will be awarded in this grant to one scientist. So it's a huge, huge accomplishment, and it wouldn't have happened without every single person in this room. And lastly, please save the date, Thursday, May 23rd, next year, 2019, for the third annual Metabash. Thank you.